Now, today's Through the Decades Retrospective. From the brain of a reclusive inventor to a staple of post-war America came Tupperware.
The picture you are about to see is the story of a dynamic part of a remarkable new industry. It is the story of Tupperware.
A product that tapped into a nation turning its focus from foreign battlefields to the home front. One yearning for modern conveniences, yet ingrained with the sensibility born of wartime rationing.
Tupperware is made from polyethylene, polypropylene, and polystyrene, relative newcomers to the wonderful world of imagination and industry.
In the perfect analogy of the time, a plastic built for military use became a marketing force thanks to a trained and motivated army. Only this time, the foot soldiers wore heels and hosiery. The end of World War II came in an instant. Just like that, an entire generation reversed course. The men were coming home, and the women, celebrated for their time in the workforce, were sent home. At the same time, Earl Tupper was trying to get his new plastic products on store shelves. Tupper was a New Englander, always looking for his next big invention. It was his Wonder Bowl, with its patented burping lid, that would make its mark.
Hear that whisper? That's Tupperware's airtight promise to keep foods flavor fresh.
But it took Brownie Wise, a young mother and divorcee from Detroit who never went to high school, to come up with the marketing plan that made Tupperware what we know.
Now let's go to a little town in New Jersey where things are really popping. Yes, there's a party going on at Mrs. Betty Martin's house. It's a Tupperware party, and it's really fun.
In the first half of the 50s, Wise's Tupperware parties took company sales from $200,000 to $100 million. The number of women selling Tupperware also exploded, from 200 dealers in '51 to 9,000 just 3 years later. The biggest sellers would gather for annual jubilees, complete with classes, prizes, and promotions. The Tupperware party stood in stark contrast to the familiar image of the door-to-door salesman that had dominated the early 20th century.
Tupperware is one of the brightest stars in the plastics industry, an industry that did not exist 25 years ago.
Until Tupperware, plastic was usually smelly and brittle. Tupperware also possessed a unique duality by being both thrifty and a status symbol.
You can freeze it, stack it, any which way.
Yet, as Americans moved to the suburbs and embraced a new consumerism, Tupperware was new and modern, a symbol of the new middle class. These days, Tupperware has become such a part of our fabric, its name is synonymous with its many competitors. And the direct sales parties, pioneered by Brownie Wise, are once again in vogue. But Earl Tupper's invention remains an integral part of a nation finding its footing after the Second World War.